So there's been a lot of hype around the crypto crashing. I've been here long enough that I've seen many crashes, and I've also seen some fantastic recoveries. Today we're going to do a very quick analysis of the Bitcoin, and then we're going to quickly go over one little technique I like to use when analyzing markets. So yesterday, if you watched my previous video, we analyzed this market. There's a lot of hype, the market's crashing, what's going to happen, how low is it going to go, and I do make a couple of little somewhat predictions, and I will link to that video so you can go back and check it out. But the one thing I want to mention is in that video I kind of drew an imaginary trend line right here. Imaginary trend line right here. Now there was an awful lot of negative information in my video yesterday concerning Bitcoin, which is the king of cryptos, and what Bitcoin does is going to affect all the other crypto. So one thing that I mentioned is that this particular candle, when I left yesterday, was right here. It's basically like this candle. I said it looks like it's going to drive up and hit this trend line, and if it hits this trend line, it will most likely bounce down, because overall there's been a lot of negative hype. Now that's not guaranteed, and we talked about the indecisiveness right here. If this thing will push on through this trend line, I'm not saying that's a buy time, it's not a go time, but it looks, it's something that's a little bit more positive. So what we're looking for, if you're bullish on crypto, which I think everybody is for this thing to close above a trend line, an imaginary trend line that you would have right here. Right now it looks like it's breaking just above this trend line. Where it closes tonight at 7 p.m. We'll have to see. There's still a lot of day left. It's 1 o'clock p.m. We still have about 6 hours left in this trading day. The other thing that I mentioned is this is low volume. So what you have here is a lot of people were involved in these days, and a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers. You can see the volatility. Indecisiveness, you get lower volume. Indecisiveness, you get lower volume. Today there's more buyers and sellers. It's driving it up, but it's on lower volume. So because it's on lower volume, my gut instinct is telling me that somewhere around this trend line it's going to close down and come down. It's not guaranteed. That's why we're watching these markets, and why you always wait on a confirmation day. If this thing breaks above, you wait on some kind of confirmation. Just because it taps it does not mean that's a confirmation to buy. So let's move on and talk about one more thing today. So this is one little trick, or one little tool I like to use. It's called bullish engulfing days. Change my pencil here. So what you're looking for is a downward trend, downward trend, downward trend, and then you have this huge day here. This huge day, you're looking for the body to fully engulf the range of the previous day. So you have this body engulfing here, and this body engulfing here. This is a huge bullish signal, because what you're getting is fear driving this market down, fear driving this market down, fear driving this market down, and all of a sudden you getting enough people in the market that's saying, hey, this market has gone low enough, and by golly, we're going to buy. And what you're looking for as to the strength of this buy signal is that the body, the open, there was still some selling first thing this morning in this signal, but from the open it was just strong buying sentiment all the way until the end of the day, and it's fully engulfing this signal here. Now this, to me, just like I was speaking about, if we happen to break that trend line this afternoon, that is not the confirmation signal. The confirmation signal is to have another good bullish day here, and you want this day to close within the top 25% of the market. Now, depending on the situation, and depending if this took place around a trend line or if this took place around a moving average, I might not be quite as strong here. I would actually enter somewhere in here. I would put a buy order to enter here. If I was just out in space and not around a trend line or a moving average, I would definitely wait for a better confirmation, and we'll talk about that in some later videos. So another thing I want you to look at with this is I have another video about hammers, and if you look at these 2 days, kind of what you're doing is forming a hammer. I will go back and link to that video about hammers at the bottom of this, in just in case you hadn't seen it. But right here, let's kind of combine both of these together. You kind of have to overlook this, but here's your opening. Let's kind of draw it over here. It's your open if you combine these 2 signals together, and your close here for this day. So that's your open and your close. So this thing goes down here, it picks it back up here and goes up to your close. So what you get is from this open here on this first day, it drives it all the way down to here and then drives back up and closes here. So if you combine the open here with the close here, you actually get a hammer signal, and I did a full video on the hammer signal and how this is a bullish signal, particularly at a trend line or a moving average. So these candlesticks can look very complicated, but when you start combining 2 of them and actually understanding the story it's telling you, it's not near so complicated. So this engulfing pattern really is going back to the hammer pattern. I hope that's not too confusing. It's just a different way to look at it. If you just want to remember, hey, an engulfing is a good signal and a hammer is a good signal, that's the way to remember it. But for some people, it's easy to take everything back to one basic signal, and whichever way you prefer. Same thing over here. Be real quick with it. You got an upward trend, you got a bearish engulfing here. Same thing applies. You want the body to fully engulf the range, and then you want another day here going down for your confirmation. Again, all of these signals depend on where they're hitting trend lines and moving averages, and we'll do another video about that in the near future. I hope things are going your way. If you have taken a loss in crypto, remember, it's just paper right now, it's just money. Things are subject to change. If you're like me and you missed the big December 2017 crypto market, and now you're ready to get in and you're thinking it's going to be an exciting market for years to come, I hope a lot of this information is helping you. So I'm putting together a PDF of my complete trading system. It has taken me over 2 decades to develop this system. So you'll want to keep checking in with this channel to make sure that you can snatch up this PDF just as soon as it becomes available. I will also keep making new videos each day. So like and subscribe. Be sure to ding that bell so that you can get notified when I come out with a new video. In trading, you must train yourself to be like the lion. Most people do business and trade like a scared gazelle. Train yourself to be like the lion. Dominate your domain. Analyze, educate, and when it's time to take care of business, you take care of business. Remember, if you don't kill it, your family doesn't eat. This is Blake Storm, SniperInvestor.com.